It is a beautiful day out today, almost 80 degrees here, fluke of nature here outside of Chicago in zone 5B/6 in the middle of March. I just placed my onions outside to start hardening them off and getting them ready to plant out very soon. We have some bitterly cold temperatures coming our way yet again on Sunday, but that is life in Chicago for you. So today I wanted to show you an item that I purchased for my garden, used from a woman locally here who has children and just didn't have space for it anymore in her garden. This is something I have coveted for so long. I'm going to go and turn the camera around and show you what it is. So check this out. Here we have the Gardener's Supply arched elevated raised garden beds. For those of you who love Gardener's Supply, you will recognize this structure here very well. It is one of their most well-known pictures. So I was so excited to stumble across this and purchase this for a fraction of the cost of what it normally does cost from Gardener's Supply directly. Now these are cedar beds and they are elevated. They are at right around 30 inches tall, 2 feet wide by 2 feet deep. And the arches themselves are 8 feet wide and 2 feet deep. So there's a lot of gardening space here that I can work with. Like I said, the beds themselves are cedar wood. I will power wash this and restain it with a food safe stain that I think will look really pretty and warm up this space. Now the really cool thing about this product is that it comes with these cedar benches. These are 4 feet wide and really comfortable, and they hang onto these elevated raised beds right here by hooks. So it's just a really neat feature, and I think it's a really neat product. I love the tunnel on these elevated raised beds. I think it just really beautifies the space, and I can grow cucumbers, squash, really anything I can grow vertically, I will grow here. So I'm really excited to grow more vegetables here. I think my kids will love it, and it just creates that much more structure and vertical interest in my garden. Now, one thing I could use some help on is the placement of this. I would love to hear from all of you where you think I should place this, because it is a fairly large structure. I don't want it to dominate my garden, to overwhelm the garden, but I also want it to be a focal point and very aesthetically pleasing. So just for a point of reference, I have a pretty deep backyard. It's almost an acre. I have a shed here and a good amount of space right in the middle here, and then my raised vegetable garden with kind of woodland evergreen area in the back. I was thinking about placing this right next to my shed, but the more I look at it, I almost think it is too big for the space. I had kind of an idea of designing the space, building out these garden beds here. These are all full of perennials that of course are not in bloom yet, but building out this garden's bed and then creating a brand new garden bed kind of coming out right here that I think would just be gorgeous with some type of vertical interest. So this might actually overwhelm the space, but I was thinking about a second location, and I would love to hear your opinion on it, what you think about this other location. Let's walk to the back. So here is this garden bed space. This is about 20 feet wide by 30 feet long. And I have a designated vine crop area that I built out last year right behind the vegetable garden. So I have a row of Carl Forster grasses here and this cute little path that I built. And I did that just to kind of create a designated space for my vine crops to really just go to town, let them do their thing, and not have me not worry about them, basically, because they tend to get a little unruly and very wild. So I kind of wanted to just hide them. But I was thinking about putting these arch trellises back here. This would be a perfect spot for it. It's fully level. They would get blasted with sun, and it really would fit in this space nicely, but I wouldn't be able to see it as well from the house. So I would love to hear what all of you think. If you have any ideas, I would love to hear. Drop in the comments below. Let me know if you have this garden piece, and I'd love to hear how you use it, what you grow on the trellises. I think it's just so beautiful. I cannot wait to use it. So just a quick view of the backyard. I have a nice built out, very deep garden bed space with a pathway in the back here. And this is kind of a brand new space that was a very invasive forest. And this area over here is my neighbor's property, and this actually gets a lot of shade in the summertime. So my ability to garden over there is quite limited. So that's why everything is typically on this side of my garden. In addition to those 2 raised beds, I was also able to purchase 2 more 2x2 elevated raised beds with this other arch. This is only half of the arch assembled. The other half is on the ground, but this is smaller. It's about, I want to say 8 feet tall by only 2 feet or 4 feet wide. So it's a smaller arch. So I have that to consider as well. So I'm going to play around with the location of this, see where I like it and what I should do with it. So I am just so excited for this. I am really, really excited and thrilled to have access to more raised garden beds. I think it's going to be so beautiful, and I'm excited to get it into my space. So let me know what you think. Let me know where I should put this, and yeah, I'll keep you posted along the way. I'll do a video when I actually refinish the garden beds. I think it will be beautiful to do it together. I'm going to pick a very warm, natural cedar color, and I'm just really excited to get it going. Another thing I wanted to do is update you on winter sowing. We have some exciting activity going on in our containers, lots of germination happening. Let's take a look. All right, so here is my winter sowing area. I've got water jugs, Ziploc baggies, and these clear containers here that I just recently put out. By far, the biggest activity is in these clear containers. These Ziploc baggies have so far not yet been successful, but I will say they did fall one time, so the seeds may have been dislodged. So let's go ahead and peek in some of these containers here. So far, I don't see anything in any of these. Aha! I found some activity. I am not sure if you can see that. There you go. So I'm trying to get the camera to focus. Can you see that? That is a plant. I'm not sure exactly which one, but that's really exciting to see. And that is the beauty of winter sowing right there. Inside this bottle here, it is much warmer than it is outside right now. So it creates those ideal temperatures for germination. And that's what makes winter sowing so cool, especially for us people who live in northern climates. We don't have to leverage all that indoor space for growing. So no activity here yet. Nothing there, but let's take a peek in our plastic containers here. Remember, I drilled holes in these. I did a little video on that. I will link it here, and it's just such a fun project. So look at all of this. Look at that. Really cool. Let's open up the next one. Ah, even more germination. How exciting. So here we have Sweet William Dianthus. Look at that. And this is a wildflower mix. That's exciting. This is a wildflower packet that contains a whole variety of wildflower seeds for full sun. So that is really exciting to see. And then let's go ahead and open this one. So this also has a ton of activity. Look at that. This is also a wildflower mix. So clearly our wildflower mix is getting a lot of activity here. Really active. Another wildflower mix. Really exciting. Really exciting to see. Let's see, I see some more seedling activity right here. This is Candy Tuft. So that's pretty exciting. So it's just great to see all the efforts are paying off and winter sowing in action when it actually works. Now I did go ahead and water these this morning. We've had a dry spell here for the last week or so, and I know things are getting pretty hot in these containers. So I wanted to be mindful of keeping the soil moist. Most of them were okay, but just be mindful of that when you're checking on your winter sowing. Give them a drink or a little bit if you haven't had any precipitation in a while. Here I used a salad container, and I don't see any activity in there yet. So I'm hopeful. And I've got my onions out. Now my onions do not look as large as I would have hoped. I am a fairly novice onion grower from seed, so it's a little bit of a learning curve for me. But I am working on it. I've followed the garden family actually, and they've given me a ton of advice on starting onions from seeds and fertilizing them properly. Onions are big feeders, so they do need quite a bit of fertilization in order to really grow strong and healthy plants to bulb out. I am just so excited that spring is on its way. It is coming. It's finally warm outside and we can get out into the garden. I really hope you enjoyed this video today. Be sure to stay tuned for more gardening tips and come along with me on all my gardening projects. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.